government must be able to be responsible for what they are doing. We have seen that the last government, we have seen what Malami is facing. We have seen what Malami wants to do to dodge the bullet. And it is the same political party that is prosecuting its own members.
Thank you for joining us on The Big Story this morning. I have with me in the studio Honorable Omalaja Olaoye. Good to have you again.
Good morning, Samsi. Thanks for having me today. And the viewer at home, I say good morning to you all. Thanks for watching us and listening to us as well.
How would you describe President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's approach to governance?
His approach to governance is all pragmatic and is very, sensitive and have a lot of human face. And we haven't had this kind of government in a very long time, probably in the history of Nigeria. I don't know, probably when Murtala Mohammed his short time in office, that is when you can see masses-driven kind of policy we are having. So his policy for now, reform is not something easy, but it has to be done.
Okay, if you say the administration and the style of governance as a human face, then why do people complain about hardships?
Oh, thank you very much. This is what is particular to human being. We always complain about everything. That is why when you are talking about economy, when we are doing economy, they said human want is always insatiable. So no matter position we were, wherever we are, we still complain. You see a lot of people migrating from probably from the north to the south or from the south to the north. When they get there, it's because of economic problem. We have seen a lot of people that have left their soil and went to outside the country. When they get there, they always complain. Peculiarity. That is what is peculiar to human being. And the government need to listen. And they are listening as well.
Are people allowed to complain when they are not provided with the basics?
It depends on the basic you are talking about. When you are talking about the basic, you are talking about, good electricity, provision of good water system, and any other thing that we can be able to compare to advanced world. And what really surprised me is that when we talk about the advanced world, they have their similar problem in the past. And a place like United States of America has been existing for almost 300 years right now. You are talking about Britain, probably 700 years, never been governed by any foreign country before. So Nigeria, at this rate, we're supposed to develop more than this. But at the end of the day, there's so many years of decay. You don't expect miracle in a JV. So it's going to take some time and it's going to be slow.
So do you believe this administration, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration, chose the hard decisions first, and why?
When you are talking about the reform, anywhere you say reform, I remember, according to history, when you are talking about Margaret Thatcher is the worst and most eighth, not the worst, most eighth Prime Minister of Britain. It was because of a lot of reform he has to make. Because Britain, United Kingdom then was a brink of collapse. The system has collapsed, it decayed. You are going to see a lot of dumping on the road when people are going to be, you are going to see the worker, they will be striking all the time. So with this, when she came, she did a lot of reform that nobody expected. That is why it was called Margaret, what's it called? It was called probably a very hard woman, Iron Lady. It was called Iron Lady. So when you see this, the reform is not going to come with things being easy. It was the cause of bad government of the past and the decay in the system.
Okay, some say this administration has prioritized the economic logic ahead of political sensitivity. Now, is that a leadership style or is it just a necessary approach?
It is a necessary approach. I remember some few years back when late Ajimabi was telling us in our state that it is leadership is not about what people want. It's about what people need. Their needs. He said if you allow people, I mean, like your studio, they can be defecating and be urinating in the system. They can eat here and dump a lot of refuse just dump anything. But when you have a kind of law and a system that the way people must be able to be doing things, it is not going to be easy. There is standard for you to dress even when you have to come to work. It is not about your comfortability. It's about what is necessary. And that is what this government is doing. No matter what, when we are used to it, you cannot go to a place in Britain and just drop. Britain is even a little bit easy. If you do that in Germany, you are going to be penalized seriously. You are not going to be thrown in jail. So it is about the law, about the system that need to be guided. And there was a time when Buhari came to power. There was this platform that was done. Is about how they are going to be interacting with people. And Reverend Machikuka was there. And I remember a lot of people who are very known in political world are there. And somebody was saying, Pat Tommy was there as well. And somebody was saying that it's about building an institution. That if Barack Obama has to come to Nigeria and govern, he's going to fail. Because the institution is not fortified. The institution is not well guided. The institution is not spelled out. But when you spell an institution, and it is easy for any kind of president that is elected in Nigeria to go to United States of America and succeed. So, because institution is there.
So now, let me take you back a little bit. And I want to be clear about a particular statement you made. I could remember late former Governor Isiaka Abiola Ajimobi made that statement and said, a leader does not necessarily take the people to where they want to be, but where they ought to be. I could remember that particular statement he made. Now, does that also include being insensitive to the pains of the people?
It is not. President Tinubu has been doing a lot of things that is going to be good for the people. He has introduced a lot of social economic reform. He has been able to empower people. When you are talking about when you are talking about the money in the monetary aspect of it, you have seen that even the student loan, it was the only president that introduced the system loan, and the so-called student loan is not only meant for the privileged like before. When you are talking about somebody is going to be given what's it called this money to travel anywhere or give, it's only meant for the privileged. But now, see the technical college. Or any technical college in Nigeria, they are going to be having free tuition, free food, free everything, as they are going to give them money as well. With this,
you said free tuition, free food. That's not free.
No, free.
You are getting it on loan.
Not on
loan.
You are paying back. No. Not when you are talking about the technical college. It is not on loan. They are being given. They are being empowered to be able to, in order for them to be able to be standard. Get well reformed when you are talking about technical abilities. But when you are talking about student loan for the university or any other tertiary institution, it is what they are going to pay back. And it is not, they are going to pay according to how it's going to be easy for them. It is not, we have not had this in the past. And so, you are going to see that these people who are there are Nigerians, and they are the children of Nigerians who probably they don't have the money to go to school.
Okay, let me ask you this. Fuel subsidy removal was announced without delay. And Nigerians asked questions about why don't you settle down as a president before you remove the fuel subsidy. Yes, it has been done. But then the question is, was the speed of removal more important than consensus by the people and say, look, let's do this together?
It is not about consent of the people. I had probably this.
So it is safe to say that it is autocratic in nature.
It is not.
People have no say in what is going on in the country.
It is the fact that the budget in Met of Grant doesn't involve fuel subsidy.
But we allow supplementary budgeting.
Supplementary budgeting
in this country.
When there is no money,
it over and over again.
When there is no money,
we have seen budget padding.
When there is no, when you see the budget padding, you have not heard about any budget padding before, because this budget, you would have seen the critics criticizing the budget. You will have seen a lot of the opposition who really want to hide under something and be criticizing the budget. We have not even been having a lot about budget, because according to what the taxman before said, he said now it is not about being remitting any money to the MDAs. When the MDA want to do any project, they need to submit it. And the money is going to be paid by Minister of Finance. And it wasn't like that before. The money that it is being budgeted to any MDAs is going to be given to them. That is why you are going to see that a lot of them are going to be lazy. They are not going to execute the budget, what they demand for. And you are going to be seeing a lot of money being domiciled in a lot of MDAs. And they are going to share the money at the end of the day. But when you see that, are they going to pad budget anymore? It is not the business as usual. The business has changed, and the way President Tinubu is doing it right now, it is so transparent to the fact that anybody can be able to challenge the government.
So when we talk about reforms, Nigerians understand what reforms really mean, but they are overwhelmed by the consequences and the pain it brings to the people. So what exactly is the government doing? In your opinion, what is the government doing to cushion the effect of the pains and hardship out there?
That's what I'm saying to you. A lot of subvention is being given to the state. That is why he always saying it. Ask your state. Ask your governors a lot of questions. The governors, he is pleading with them, is begging them to be able to let whatever that's been done at the federal level, national level, to be able to be seen in the state level. Part of it is where you see a lot of, you see time, what's it called, Bodija bomb blast. A lot of money is being given to the state government. And is the state government being transparent enough to tell the people what it has been given? For you to know the extent that a lot of governors are doing damage to the economy.
Shouldn't the presidency hold some governors accountable?
According to constitution,
should we now start having situations where money sent to states be published or publicized?
When publicized or not, they are going to change it. See the system of Oyo State.
But that will raise awareness. People will know governors have this money. And it should be spent accordingly.
And mind you, he cannot fight all the world in up front. He's fighting for the state government about the survival of local government. They are fighting him so hard. They are so adamant. When you are talking about EFCC, we've seen a lot of governors, including Oyo State governor, taking EFCC to go. The same EFCC is cited and repeated in Oyo State that it is not constitutionally constituted. He wants them to be disbanded. You will see that a lot of governors doesn't want to be transparent. And act under the power that's been given to them constitutionally.
Is it safe to say that the president is being diplomatic with the governors?
He has to.
Because he wants to be re-elected.
No. You cannot fight. You don't make everybody an enemy. You don't make everybody an enemy. Now, when it was time for the revelation, we saw what happened inside of your state. And it wasn't even done by the presidency. Because what's it called? The bill to be able to be transparent and demand for any document is there. So it is the people that are going to be demanding for their right from all the governors. It is not the work of the president to be doing that.
So how do you respond to accusations against the presidency that some of these reforms are more of a burden to the poor than that of the political class?
Everybody is entitled to his own right of opinion.
But you know that's exactly the situation.
But the facts still remain.
Nigerians no longer have fuel subsidy, but politicians live on the free.
How do they? Yes, you are talking about free. There's a lot of entitlement that have been given in the scope of work. It is not about free. It's about the standard, well-specified amount of salary that is being given to them.
And some perks. That is not public.
Because they have the power as well. You are talking about legislators. You are not talking about the ministers. The minister doesn't have that extravagance to be doing whatever they want. But when you are talking about the legislator, because they have the power, and it doesn't start today, it starts during the time of
Ghana. So who put them in check?
They cannot be checked, whether you like it or not. It is later. Probably EFCC can be able to be challenging them.
So they are more powerful than Nigeria.
I will not say it because the law they make, they are using it to benefit themselves, and it is when the constitution is changed in some fact. Some people even want to occupy National Assembly. They want to know how much their take is, and they refuse to tell the people. So it is not the problem of the presidency because all of them has specified job and you cannot interfere in their affairs. So they are constitutionally allowed to be doing.
Do you remember this statement? Something has been sent to your bank account for the weekend.
I remembered.
And you retracted it almost immediately.
It takes long before he retracted it, but what he has said, he has said. And the so-called legislator that we elected to represent us, they didn't say anything. They laughed to the man and they laughed to their own. And
is it safe to say that is how Nigerian resources is being shared on the floor of the
earth? I don't know about that, but we heard what he has said and we knew that is what they do. And a lot of people have demonstrated and asked National Assembly to publish how much they are collecting. They refuse to do. And what are we going to do?
Now, your administration blamed the PDP administration. The APC blamed the PDP that they brought about what we currently see in Nigeria as a period of waste, 16 years of rule. Now, are we witnessing the repeat of what happened under the PDP and the APC? Let's share it idea.
You see, that is the problem we are having. Every government must be able to be responsible for what they are doing. We have seen that the last government, we have seen what Malami is facing. We have seen what Malami wants to do to dodge the bullet. And it is the same political party that is prosecuting its own members. And we must not shy away from the fact that when you do what is wrong, you are going to be penalized. It is not only about PDP. It's about the Emefiele saga. Doesn't happen during the time of PDP. It happened during the time of APC. And you see those massive corruption that happened. So now, it is not about PDP or APC. Anybody that did wrong must be penalized. We have seen what happened during the time the Minister of Women's what's it called? Of Better Edu. He was kicked out. And this man has told them that whoever did what is wrong is going to be kicked out.
Beyond policies, leadership is also about communication. Do you think this administration has done enough to put information out there for the people?
The press cannot hide the fact that anything that happened, all those who are involved in about how they are going to advocate whatever is happening in this government are always there. We have seen the work of Bola, we have seen the work of Mokri, we have seen the work of others who are coming out and telling the people what they're supposed to know.
And when
you are talking about the tax reform, nobody here or eyes is being gummed. Everybody can be able to see what is happening.
Now, do you think that is enough? Do you think Nigerians know more about what is going on?
It depends on what Nigerians want to know. It depends on what they want to know. This government never hide anything from them. It explicitly told them whatever that is happening in this government. And this government is so responsible and responsive. Even when his name is being destroyed abroad, he went and proved himself. What else do we need to do? You can see the saga of about genocide that was alleged that is happening in Nigeria. He went to United States of America. He went to the answer and defend himself. They are not proud to say that their sovereignty is intact, that they don't need to be responsible to anybody, but they are responsible and responsive.
Now, some citizens have criticized the government for being firm but distant from the people. So how does the government intend to bridge this gap? Do you think there's something the government can do to bridge the gap that we're talking about? I mean, yes, you have been taking firm decisions, but when it comes to communication, there's a gap.
How do you want communication to be? There was a time when the financial expert projected that the inflation we are having cannot come down. And it came down dramatically right now. When you go the staple food on the staple food, it is now, I mean, to the rich of the poor, because their complaint is that about hungry. Me, myself, I complain about it. And what we are buying food before is not what, that is communication. That's for you to know that the government is responsible and responsive to anything that is happening to its people. And they are doing it. When you are talking about even the insecurity that happens because of a long decade of negligence from some part of the country, now we have seen how the United States is helping us, in guiding us, in training us in how to combat security. It is not going to be very quick, what's it called? It's not going to be as quick as the way we want, but gradually we are getting there.
Well, since you mentioned security, let's go to security. Economic hardship and insecurity often feed off each other. And now we can see the state of insecurity in the country, especially now that it is being spread across, away from the north and now trickling down to the southwest. You saw what happened in Oyo State when some forest guards were maimed. You also saw what happened in Kwara, in Kayama, where over 170 people were killed. Is that an indication that the government has been incapable to nail it in the bud when it comes to security, as it keeps spreading?
We must know that when it comes to security, it is not only the government job alone. It has to do with a lot of community who are going to be communicating to the security agency when they see some problem on the ground. The same Kwara State, we have seen that our military men have went to a lot of bush and strike according to what they had. Probably in retaliation to what happened to those bandits, to those criminal, probably cultists or any of them. That is what really happened later in Kwara State. In order to, is like a reprisal attack today. It is not right. It is condemnable. It is insensitivity of these people. But we knew that the government is doing whatever it can be able to curb and nip all these problems in the bud. Now, in advanced world, government or security then base anything they want to do on the information they had. I keep saying it is about intelligent gathering. Now, it is hard, it is sad, but the state government must able to bear some responsibility because they are the one that is communicating with all the security agency. That's why I say the peculiar problem is different.
The state governors do not control the police.
It is not about control.
The Nigerian they don't have access to the DSS.
This
is solely reliant on the federal government.
They never rejected the security vote given to them every month. For you to know that the government knew that there is always security challenges. What are they doing with the money? Are they not having probably weekly or fortnightly meeting with all these security agencies? So we still have to hold the government, the so-called state government responsible, right from the local. How will you condemn the federal government that has been telling all the state government to let the local government breathe? And when you are talking about the local government, any problem in the local government, when they can be able to have a meeting with vigilante, the community leaders, they are going to be giving the feedback to the state government. The state government will be giving the feedback to the federal government.
Are you saying as it stands, as it is now?
A lot of state government failed.
Local governments are incapacitated.
They are incapacitated.
They do not have this kind of meetings you talk about.
They do. They're supposed to be doing it. They're supposed to be doing it. They're supposed to be doing it when they are having it. When you don't give them what they
deserve. This is not even about the fund anymore. It's about being alert to things happening in your community.
That is why
it's not really about the money.
That is why the security vote is being given to the local government as well. If they release the money that meant for them to do what they're supposed to do, they are going to do it. But if they don't give them the money, they are just going to be looking. That is what is happening.
Is it safe to say that prolonged hardship in the country might just cause the collapse of the security architecture in the country?
I think President Tinubu is doing what is right.
That's not the question.
He's been campaigning for the state governors to let the local government breathe. If they can be able to breathe, they are going to be They can be able to function adequately. But for now, when they are being incapacitated, there's nothing they can be able to do. There are some things they are going to neglect, which doesn't need to be neglected. So we must blame a lot of state governors to be responsible for a lot of security challenges we have in Nigeria.
Okay, at what point should the government revisit or adjust policies, especially when hardship persists in a community, in a country?
It depends on what needs to be adjusted. It depends on what needs to be adjusted. There's something that is not adjustable. We just have to do according to what needs to be done.
So Nigerians should keep suffering.
It is not. It is not about suffering.
The approach does not change.
He is a listening government, and he's been listening, and they have been doing what is right. But no matter the society you are,
how do you benchmark what is right as against what the people are actually looking forward to see?
Okay, let me give you a sample of our developed world. They are now talking about what they base on their challenging upon is about immigration. And you are going to be seeing opposition campaigning against themselves that they are not doing well enough. Because in Nigeria, when you go to any other country or countries, when you see what you have not seen before, you are going to be working so hard. No country is immune against any criticism from its people. And we have seen what the President Stubbs said, that giving some peanuts to people, they are lazy. When they can be able to work, they don't work. So there's no point in government funding it. So, and you cannot call that sensitivity. That is insensitiveness of the President Trump administration. And when you get to a place like UK, you are seeing that a lot of the benefit is being cut as well. They are asking people to go to work, to go and work. So no matter the society you are, people will complain. And the complaint is necessary, and the government is going to be responsible and responsive.
Okay, as it stands, how would you rate this administration on security?
Security, they are doing the best. I don't know what to give to them, but I believe it is not only federal government affairs. The state government must be able to respond.
They are not so sure about the performance.
It is not. They are doing
it's
fine.
Not that clear.
They are doing fine. They are doing fine. That's what I'm saying. I keep telling you.
But you cannot benchmark where they are in terms of security.
I will give them 80%. If 80%. That's what you want, I will give them 80%. Yes.
The current killings going on in the country. Bombings here and there.
Bombing here and there. Yeah.
Bandits striking. Yes. Kidnappings. And they are at 30%. So if Nigeria is at 30%, what will you give to developed countries with no security challenge? Because
they fortified their system. You are going to be seeing security camera all everywhere.
So what's wrong with the Nigerian system? Why are we here?
The communication system is perfect. Just like they are talking about transmitting election to the INEC portal right now. When there are some places in Nigeria that doesn't have electricity, where there are some places that you don't even have any communication system, when your phone can went out anytime, even when you are in city. So with that, those are the problems we are having when you are talking about our security challenges.
Don't you see that as an excuse just to make sure that things are not being done?
It's not about excuse, it's a fact.
I'll cite an instance.
Please do.
Even the Minister of Power carries power bank. Why not implore people?
Trump does. Trump does as well.
I'm not benchmarking to Bayo Adelabuelu.
Yes.
I'm just saying that people have access to power banks. So if you are talking about power, it can be sorted out through power banks, right? And go to remote villages where there are no electricity, and that will be sorted out. If you are talking about internet, it can be uploaded through other means too. When it comes to internet, is not something. It's not rocket science. It can be done. So when it's easy to hack a bank, when it's easy to hack any people. So the fear is no longer about power and electricity anymore. It's about hacking now.
It is. I am just saying to you that even developed world, there are some things they don't do. I remember during the time of the first time of Trump, they were saying about Russian interference. Why? It is through communication. TikTok was banned in America because of what? Because they believed they are encroaching on their system. A lot of developed world know what it has to do. They are not playing with, despite the fact that they have satellite. Nigeria doesn't have. Nigeria is using China satellite to operate in Nigeria, which doesn't give us any fortified security system. It can be hacked anytime. A lot of people can be employed from China and do whatever. What about Russia? They can do it everywhere. I am just saying to you that in Nigeria, a lot of challenges has to do. They are contributing factor. You are talking about internet system. You are talking about light. A lot of things. And the insecurity system is peculiar to some state. It is not general in Nigeria. It is not general in a place like Lagos State or Ogun State or Ondo State. All states have their different challenges. It is not just about blanket.
Okay, now let's set the record straight. During the Olusegun Obasanjo administration,
Yes.
I think that was in 2003,
Yes.
Nigerian Satellite, Nigerian Sat-1 was launched.
Yes.
Which
Satcom.
means
Satcom.
that Nigeria
Nigeria
has satellites. So why can't we rely on that? And
It
why have we
collapsed.
stopped?
It collapsed.
Why have we stopped?
It collapsed.
Why can't we have another one?
Whether we like it or
Is
not,
that
do you
not
know
an ex-
how many
is
more?
not- is that not one of the lame excuses given by the ruling class?
It is not lame. What we have in Nigeria is that the fact that a lot of things cannot be, when things are created, how are they going to be able to manage it? That is the problem. They have expended so much in NICOSAT that it doesn't work. And we have to rely on another that is cheaper. I don't know how much they are budgeted on it, how much they spend on it, but what they spend on it doesn't complement us. We have to be standard enough. We have to know that we can get our priority right before we can be able to do that again. I don't know what this government is doing about that. But our satellite is we are not using NigerCom, Niger Satcom. We are using, I think the China is helping us. Okay. So it make it to be vulnerable, to be hacked. It make it to be not to be reliable. So anything we want to do, we have to be careful.
Okay, let's just before we go, the one launched, Nigeria Sat-1 was decommissioned. It was built with the UK. Sat-2 is still there, still operational. Nigeria Sat-X is still operational. And the NICOMSAT, just like you said, built in 2007, failed in the orbit and after 18 months. Yes, that is true. And NICOMSAT 1R is still very much operational. So Nigeria has satellite. The only problem is
who are the managers? Who are the managers?
Are we putting it to
who are the managers?
So who
are the managers?
In the first place,
that is what you are going to.
In the first place, are we that weak that we cannot manage our own satellites? It's a big
I am not an expert.
And it's a big slap on the face of the country called Nigeria. And
Yes.
that is one of the things this administration should look at. But then it's a conversation for another day. Thank you for joining us on the show this morning, Honorable Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Thank you for
It has been a wonderful session with you. I will do hope to bring you back some other time to discuss issues bordering on Nigeria. Nigeria has so many potentials. We've got the resources, but the only problem is bad leadership. As Nigeria navigates these defining moments, one of the things that is clear, the decisions made today will shape the nation's economic and social landscape for years to come. Whether President Tinubu's governance approach ultimately delivers stability and prosperity or deepens existing hardship will depend on not only on policy direction but on execution, inclusiveness, and the government's willingness to listen and adapt. Many thanks to Honorable Bola Ahmed for joining us on The Big Story and sharing his perspective on the crucial national conversation this morning. Samson Balogun is my name, and you have been watching The Break Live, The Big Story, on Dominion Television, Ibadan. Stay glued to your device as we continue to examine the issues that shape our lives and our democracy. Up next is Trend Watch.